Hey guys, Tiju22 here, and what I have for you is a special New Year's Eve edition. That would be 2015 going into 16. Good drink. And I just wanted to, do some recollection and give some people some shout outs, as well as a couple of people I should be thanking. Some of which I'll get to that in a moment, but the only thing I can tell you is we're approaching the new year really soon, and I wanted to give you some of my thoughts on the year that has been 2015 as we then go to the new year. Now, to get things started off, I just want to talk about 4 people that have been the constants. These are people that have been consistent for the better. And these are the people that are ending the year much the way they began this year, and that is consistent and the best at what they do in one form or another, but they're all Let's Players though. So, first person I want to mention right off the bat, there's 4 people, one of which is the lady, and her name is Ryoko, and I have to say, she's been a very good friend of mine. It's like, we totally understand. Like, she understands my brand of humor as much as I understand her brand of humor. But for the most part, we talk, and the thing is, we can be serious when we need to, and then there are the times when we can have fun as often as we need to, or not need to, but as fun as we can have, is what I'm trying to say. But for what it is, I enjoy Ryoko's company, and I also enjoyed the videos, like especially the vlogs. Very funny. I may not have watched some of her latest ones, but the ones that she's done in the past or so, I enjoy that, and then I just enjoy Ryoko for what she does. And the fact, I think her greatest quality, for the most part, is that she is herself, and that she doesn't need to be anybody other than herself, and that's what I love about her, or at least her channel, really. But that's what I like about her, though. I enjoy that, and I appreciate that very, very much. And that's something that most people need to do, and that's just be themselves, But Ryoko is just that, herself, and that's all that she ever needs to be. And I love. And I appreciate that from her, for her, and from her. Let's see, other people I could talk about. Oh yeah, the other constants would include another good friend of mine, Condisboard. Condisboard is the same guy now as he was when he first started off the year. Consistent. And at one point, he was taking it in for for Insomania Game, and I appreciate that from him. And of course, I realize that he's a very busy person, but he's never too busy not to talk to any of us, and that the only reason he won't be able, or he can't talk, is usually because he really is busy. And and the thing is, I knew he was busy the moment I understood, he talked about how he has, school and college and things of that nature. And the fact that I can appreciate the fact that, he is busy with school, there's a part of me that can respect that. And when he does come out with videos in whatever game he plays, I just have fun with it, and plus his brand of humor is dry humor. But if you are into that sort of thing, he's your guy. He's the guy for you, man. But I enjoy it though, and that's what I'm trying to get at. And then of course we have the Frog, LP Grotus, one of the best Let's Players. In fact, he was then, as he is now, a star. I mean, sure, I've called him the Frog, but I'm just saying that he's a star. And much like Ryoko before him, LP Grotus is himself, and that's all he ever needs to be. And I appreciate that very much. And plus, he's been a very good friend, as has Ryoko and as has Conisboard. And I could probably say the same thing about the next guy, but LP Grotus has been a very good friend of mine, and we continue to support each other on our channels. And I understand he's on a vacation, at least as of the time that this is being recorded and probably going to be uploaded. And I intend to upload this on New Year's Eve day, in the daytime, or at least where I live, if only because I have a big date on New Year's Eve. Believe it or not, not only was I invited to a dinner, but I also got let me try that again. I also got myself a date. Yep. Although it's nothing serious, or like by that I mean it's nothing serious to the point where I'm in a relationship or anything like that. But it's a start, and that's all it is. It's just a start. So that's all I can say about that one. Let's see. And then, of course, last but definitely not least, as far as the constants, this is kind of like a little award, if you will. It's not much, but it's just something to appreciate you by. But the guy, or should I say, the man, the myth, the legend, that is Tanuki Teddy. And I'll tell you one thing, just, now, Tanuki Teddy is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and whether he's typing a comment towards you or whether you're talking to him on Twitter or however you can get a hold of him, mainly on YouTube, but he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And lately I noticed he's been very busy with other stuff in his personal life, but then again, who does not get busy? Sometimes, I realize that, he has his own life and that, he wants to enjoy it. And you know what? He's entitled to do that. Just about anybody that is my friend or was my friend or had been my friend at one point or another, if you want to live your life, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to force you to stay and do more videos. I mean, that's not your job unless you make money, unless you make money for it. I mean, it's not a job. It's something that you just take and you do for fun. But for Tanuki Teddy, that's all he is. He's fun. Enough said. But no, he's more than that. He's a very good friend of mine, and he is very good with what he does. In fact, me and Pika Pika Pawa, another person I'll mention in a moment, but me and him, we talked about Tanuki Teddy, and we both agree on one thing, and that is Tanuki Teddy is the man. Or if he doesn't want to be the man, he can just simply be the Tanuki. I mean, I don't know how he feels about that, but the only thing I know is that Tanuki Teddy, you do a great job with what you do, and I wish you nothing but the best in your I wish you nothing but the best in your quest for success. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. But I wish you nothing but the best, man. In fact, you deserve, like, if you need to take a vacation, take a vacation. I understand that you've been playing some Fallout 4, I think. I mean, you mentioned it in the last video you uploaded, more or less, so I'm thinking maybe that's probably what you're doing. But hey, you know what? Have fun with it, man. Just have fun with it, and just enjoy it, man. I wish you nothing but the best. Okay, so now that we got the constants out of the way, I may as well talk about Pika Pika Pawa, because he's a very, very unique case as far as 2015 is concerned. As you know, last season, or last year, was 2014, and that was, I believe it was very, very late in 2013 that I met Pika Pika Pawa, but it was in 2014 that I got to be his friend, and he has been nothing but a great friend of mine. And this year, he started the year with the bang, doing Let's Plays and making videos and all that. Unfortunately, he had, I forget if he had, oh, he didn't have a computer of his own. Though, I mean, that kind of does explain things because, you know, he wants to put out the best videos out there, and if he feels that anything less than the best is not good enough, well, he's probably not going to do it. But as far as Pika Pika Power, I believe it was January 5th or 6th, somewhere around there, that he posted at the time his last video. And if you were to go to Pika Pika Power's channel now, you would notice that any videos that you would have seen, like at least, I don't know, probably 2 months ago, that were still posted, he deleted most of those videos because he wants a fresh start. And as far as Pika Pika Power then, as opposed to now, he made his return back in very early this month, in December 1st, or probably late in the previous month, in November. Any way you slice it, he was gone for the better part of 11 months. And when he made his return, I was just so happy to see him again. I mean, I didn't care if he deleted all the videos that he had before. I mean, I wish he kept some of them, but then again, it's his channel, his rules. I'm in no position to say anything bad about that, but the only thing I can say is that I was just happy to have him back. I mean, it's just like in the Christian Bible, the Holy Bible, the prodigal son. You know what? Whether you believe in it or not, that's not up to, you know, me. It's up to you if you want to believe in it, but I'm not going to force you. The only thing I can tell you is I was just so happy to have him back. I really was. I was very happy to have him back, and it's great that he's back, and that I have some plans for Pika. That's if he wants to do it. I mean, I'm not going to force him into anything, but if he wants to do it, I'll be happy to do some collabs with him if he wants to. I mean, like I said, he doesn't have to, but it'd be nice if he did or could. But yeah, that's Pika Pika Power. And then we have most of my other friends that carried over from years past, like Cole NL112, his wife Colette, Ryan Bragg, formerly known as Avrofan NF, Nufi Banga, and then we have the remaining members of Much Games Guides, like Samurai, Old World Gamer, and then as well as Jaxia, and then one guy that I've been talking to a lot, mainly on Twitter, has been, well, formerly he was known as iHeartMoves, but then for some reason he closed the old channel. I guess he probably didn't like the direction it was going, so he opened up his new channel, and, well, it now goes under the name of Mr. Moves. That's Moves with 2 O's instead of just one. 87. So Mr. Moves 87. Very cool guy. In fact, some of his videos, I mean, I haven't watched all his stuff because, well, I'm trying to catch up on it, more or less. But the one video that stuck out to my mind was the big giant burger that he showed when he saw it off of Facebook. You know, do check that out. I mean, it's a ridiculous burger. Ridiculous, but not ridiculously good. I meant ridiculous as in ridiculously bad. Well, actually, it's not bad, it's just bad for you. If you know what I mean. And then, let's see, other people I can think of. I mean, there's also, let's see, other people that carried over, like, well, the man formerly known as TrueWho82, Kill Punch of Doom, as well as the man formerly known as the Man900, formerly known as the Awesome Ace, but now he calls himself Ghoulie, for some odd reason. I'm not sure why, but that's his name. And then, let's see, what else? Or who else am I forgetting? Yeah, LP Grotus as the Constance, as I mentioned before, aforementioned. Let's see. Oh, Pap Slash, Fefnir Masamune. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, Moogle Master. In fact, Moogle Master is a very, very cool guy, which I'll get more into, but the only thing I can tell you is that Moogle Master is, much like LP Grotus before him, a star. But the thing is, he's much like LP Grotus, and most of the guys and girls, he paid his dues, and he is a star. And I wish him nothing but the best, and I enjoy the fact that he's doing well, and I appreciate what he has done for me as a friend, and that anything I can do for him, it's a pleasure and an honor to work with him. Let's see. If I'm forgetting anybody, I hope I don't forget anybody. Let's see. Well, there is a few more people, but I'll get to those people in a moment. Some of the new people that I met this year. Let me see if I can remember. I met, well, actually the year before that I met Jazawatoad, but I didn't really get to fully meet him until just recently. So, I mean, well, not recently, but, this year, rather. It's just I never fully got to know him. Well, not to know him like that. I mean, I don't know him that well, but it's just... But to know him enough to be a friend of his, which is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I don't know him personally, though. But nonetheless, Jazawatoad, very cool guy. Oh, of course, I forgot about Prince Mario. I mean, I know some people may not like him. Heck, there's a lot of people that truly, truly despise him. And some of the people that despise him just despise him for all the wrong reasons. I mean, sure, there might be times when I might, like... I mean, there are times when even Prince Mario does wear thin on me, but it's not that I hate him, it's just, sometimes there are things that he does that just wear on me, but nonetheless, I'm one to forgive him. It's not like he did anything bad to me, because if he did, I would have just left him in the dust, but no. But he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. In fact, it's just that, he's really young. And I would think that the young prince has a lot to learn, on how to handle himself and stuff like that. And he's getting better, at least in the sense that he's not reacting as much as he used to. Like, especially, by lately, I mean the last 2 months. Like, he hasn't done much, if anything. Heck, he hasn't even posted a video of anything. But I applaud the fact that he's not starting up anything anymore. And I was kind of getting, that was what was wearing me thin. Is just because, sometimes he just starts stuff or things happen that he, could have just as easily avoided, but it just didn't, I'm not trying to put him out there. I'm just trying to say that in spite of all that, he's my friend. Which is what I'm trying to get at. But nonetheless, Prince Mario, very good friend of mine, and if you want to check out his stuff, you can, if you want, but just know that he is my friend. That's all I can say about that. Let's see, anyone else am I forgetting? Well, that's pretty much about... Oh, no, wait, Rockhawk64, I almost forgot about him. Rockhawk64, I met him through... I actually forgot who I met him through. I forget exactly how I met him, but the only thing I know... Well, actually, I think he found me, or something like that, or we found each other on... No, wait, it was Tanuki Teddy that led him to me, or me to him. I forget exactly how the story goes, but... Again, Tanuki Teddy shows how awesome he is, because if it wasn't for him, me and Rockhawk64 would have never met. His official username is the Rockhawk64, but we just call him Rockhawk64, and, Rock, that's R-A-W-K, Rock. So yeah, Rock is very, very awesome, very cool, and I just enjoyed the stuff that he does on his channel, and lately what he's been doing for our group channel, or the group channel that I'm a part of anyway, I mentioned before that I'm a member of Much Games Guides, as well as a member of Insomania Game, and Rockhawk is the newest member, and I have to say, he's only uploaded 2 videos up to this point, at least as of the time I'm filming this. But what they are, they're amazing. That much I can tell you. They are just amazing, and it's like I can't wait for the next video that he does. But I also realize that he's a very busy person. In fact, he's mentioned it a number of times on his Twitter. I'm not to get into his business or anything like that, but it's just that he does want to get a better computer as well as a capture card, so that way he doesn't have to use anything on like emulators and stuff like that. But no, he does want to get better in terms of quality as well as hardware and software, like the whole 9 yards. In fact, that's the only thing that's limiting him from reaching his max capacity. And I mean, I can empathize with that because, not too long ago, which, I'll save that for later. But Rockhawk, as a friend, he has been very good. A very good friend to me. Or he's been my very good friend, much like LP Grotus before him. He's been a very good friend of mine, and I wish him nothing but the best in getting a new computer, getting a new capture card, software, hardware, the whole 9 yards. I hope he does get everything that he needs. And not just that, I mean, even a brand new car would be nice for him. I mean, he's the kind of guy that deserves more than what he gets. Really, I just really think he doesn't get as much as he needs, but I hope one day that he does get it. And that I hope he also, finds, or that he succeeds in his quest for financial success, or whatever it is that he wants to do. The main thing for me is that I just want him to be happy. Heck, I want everybody that is my friend to be happy. Heck, even a select few people that may not be like my very good friend. There might be people that might not be my friend, or had been my friend, or hasn't been my friend, or has yet to be my friend. I wish people nothing but the best in their lives, and Rockhawk is no exception. So that's all I have to say about him, but I just wish him the best. Let's see, who else? Let's see. I'm really trying to think, who else am I forgetting? Well, that's practically about it, except for the next part. So all the people that I mentioned, like the new people that I was mentioning, that I became friends with, more or less that was from the first half of 2015. But what set up the second half of 2015 would have to be, well, the trips that I would go to on Twitch. Now, I mentioned before that I would go to Twitch to see, at the time I was trying to do something different and something new. In addition to the fact that, well, I wanted to do something new. I didn't want to just do the same old thing over and over again, because then it just gets boring after a while. Amongst a myriad of other things, which I'm not going to mention at all, if at all. Because, that is very, very personal, and I don't want to go too far into it. But I wanted to do something different, and I thought about Twitch, I remembered my time from Twitch, but I never got to fully embrace it for what it was, and for what it is. So I did that, but it really was not until I got the inspiration. And this is where I want to thank a couple of people, some of which you may have never heard of, or for some people they have never heard of, for others they might have not heard of in a while. And I want to give a very, very special thanks to that of the Yoshi clan. That would be That would include, but is not limited to. I mean, I'm just gonna mention the core members because to try to find all the other members would be like I'm pretty. There's a couple of members I can think of off at the top of my head, but I can't remember. I can't think of them all right then and there. That being said, some of the members include my good friend Genitera, my good friend Via Vinyl, of whom I was friends with, or am friends with rather, for the better part of a year now. Actually, we were friends like I think it was May or June of 2014 that we became friends. At least me and Via Vinyl or or Genitera. I forget who came first. I think it was Via who came first, uh, but yeah, there's Genitera, Via Vinyl, and then there's Rajan Vexus, Pack Dude, and then Twyking, the Twyking, and then who else? Twyking. He reminded me of another person that I was friends with, and still am. I almost forgot about Fire Kitty. How did I forget about Fire Kitty? Not to say that me and Fire Kitty are close friends, because it's just that she is a friend of another great Let's Player that is Slim Kirby. So anyone who's a friend of a major star like Slim Kirby, obviously, anyone who's a friend of a major star might not be as accessible as, say, probably someone I'll just go throughout. I'm just thinking of examples of people that are stars but are still accessible, like LP Grotus or Cole NO112. Who else am I forgetting? Moogle Master, or even to a much lesser degree, yours truly. But as far as Fire Kitty, very good friend of mine. Again, we don't talk as often as we used to, or not used to, but we don't talk as often, just because again, she has a very busy life, time zone issues, as well as the fact that she gets a lot of people talking to her because of the fact that she is, okay, I have to stop with the gas, that she is a great friend of a big star like Slim Kirby, so it's only natural that she would get, a piece of the star treatment, I guess you could say, but I wish her nothing but the best for Fire Kitty. Anyway, I was mentioning the Yoshi clan, Twyking, and then who else? And then, of course, the leader of the clan itself, Lario Plays. So I just mentioned the core 6 people: Via Vinyl, Genitera, Pack Dude, Rajan Vexus, the Twyking, and Lario Plays. Like, those are the core 6 people. There's other members, but I haven't had a chance to become friends with them yet, if at all. I haven't gotten around to that. But one thing that they did that inspired me was, or actually they inspired me to do 2 things, or a number of things actually. Let's see. The first thing I can think of that they did was they were like mentors. I mean, sure, they never went out of their way to teach me anything. Like, they were more like mentors in an indirect sense, if you will, because they taught me more about life than I could have ever learned by myself. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but that's what they did. But one thing that they did do directly, that they inspired me to do, number one, that was to look for new friends. Because, they were looking for new friends themselves, and they certainly found some new friends themselves, but I'll get to looking for new friends in just a moment. But the second thing they did was they inspired me to do more co-collaborations, or more collaborations with other YouTubers, anyone that I could get a hold of. But I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to do that, I need to find somebody to do it with, because I can't ask, I mean, I was going to say, I mean, I could ask the people that I'm friends with now, at least at that time, to do collabs with, but they could be very busy. So I thought, all right, really the only other thing I can do is make new friends. So I had the order mixed up though. So they inspired me to do more collabs, but in turn they also inspired me to make new friends. Okay, I had the order wrong, but still, they inspired me to do all that stuff. And ultimately, I found a new set of friends, and I ended up doing just that. I did more collabs with people, and I truly got a kick out of it, and I enjoyed it for what it was and for what it is. And I can only thank the Yoshi clan for it. So I just want to say thank you very much, guys, for your inspirations, and hopefully one of these days we could collab, whether it's myself and my friends with all the members of the Yoshi clan, or hell, even if it's just myself and even the fraction of the group, even if it's just a fraction of the group, or if it's just for one of you, then I'll be happy with that too. Like whether it's Smash or whether it's Splatoon or even just, you know, co-commentating on each other's channels, like something I've been doing very much lately, not just on my channel but on for other people's channels too. In fact, it's not just my channel that people can co-commentate, but also for other people's channels. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. And it's not just to the Yoshis, but also to anybody else that's listening to this. Of course, that being said, that you have to be a very good friend of mine. I mean, you can't just be some random stranger. But if I know you and if I know you to be a friend, you can, all you have to do is just ask me, and of course you have to do it privately, of course, or not privately, but you know, you just you know, ask me first, and whether or not I can do it is usually dependent on the schedule, because you know, there might be times when I could be very, very busy in my personal life, like, you know, going to work or going to school. I mean, it works not just on me, but it works on everybody. And I mean, I should know that, but you know, sometimes even I'm guilty of forgetting that people are busy, but that's just me though. But yeah, the Yoshi clan, they inspired me to do collabs, and then ultimately, and then on top of that, to find new people. So as to find new people, and this is what led to the second half of this year, I went to Twitch. I went back to Twitch, and I thought, all right, where am I going to meet some new friends? I thought, all right, the least I could do is try to make some new friends, even if it's on Twitch. And some of the people that I met on Twitch include the likes of, but are not limited to, let's see, the first person I became a good friend with, or have become good friends with me, would have to be Volk Highland. I have his Twitter, and he's a very cool guy, and he just enjoys what he does on his Twitch, and I just enjoy it for what it is, and plus, you know, he was one of the first people to smash with me, or that I could smash with him. I had a lot of fun with it. And then there's also Pinky Green 08, and you know, she does this stream along with her man, her husband. And sure, they don't do this all the time. They only like stream whenever they have free time to do it. But I enjoy it for what it is. And among the people that I met, I mean, in addition to Pinky Green herself, another person that I met on Pinky Green's streams happens to be Jacoy, and that's pretty much where he came from. I mean, I first met Jacoy on Pinky Green's streams, playing Mario Kart 8, and I enjoyed it for what it was. And I have to say, Jacoy was just, he was awesome then as he is now. And I would meet him later on, and I'll get to more of Jacoy in a little bit. And then let's see, who else did I meet? Oh, of course. Well, he has a real name, but it would be kind of rude to call him by his real name unless he gave me permission to state his name. But he goes by the name of WS Grand Prix. That's Warp Star Grand Prix. So WS Grand Prix, what he does is daily Smash tournaments on Twitch, and he also incorporates challenge.com, to keep track of the brackets for his own, just so that he stays on track himself, as well as for those who want to stay on track themselves, and see. And it's also for the participants to find out, all right, who's my opponent first, or who's my opponent next, or something like that. And I enjoy it for what it was and for what it is. It's amazing. I just enjoy competing in a tournament. Competing in a tournament, but ultimately I enjoy it because it's fun. Like, I wouldn't, sure, there's no prizes or anything like that. It'd be cool if we could have prizes, but no, I just enjoy it for the fun of it, and that's pretty much what people have to enjoy it for. It's for fun. It's not to be taken seriously. But I just enjoy it for what it is, and what can I say? Let's see. I mean, I met a few people there, but I never really got to fully become their friend, except maybe Hatem Master and maybe Joxon, the Pixels of Joxon. Other than that, I don't remember. Oh yeah, and Shelby Plays. I believe that's her name. Those are the people that I can think of off the top of my head, as well as Codeman 5. I almost forgot about him. iDark Link. I'm trying to think of people that participated on the stream that I can think of. That's pretty much about it. And then the next streamer, as well as friends that accompany him, would have to be Andy. That's Andy from the Gaming Beatdown, from gamingbeatdown.com. And I first, he does stream games, like one time he was doing some streams of Skyward Sword. I don't know if he's still doing that now, but he does stream a variety of games, like Smash, maybe some Splatoon. But the one game that he streams once a week on Sunday nights, late into the night, early into the next day, is Mario Kart 8. And I remember the first time I got in, and I had a fun time playing it. But then by the second or third stream, I started to participate in the commentary. The way it worked, well, it works differently now than it did when I first did it. Back then, they used to use TeamSpeak, which is more or less a very cumbersome version of Skype. It's so cumbersome that I'm happy they ditched it, because I just thought that TeamSpeak, as great as it was, I just thought it was kind of cumbersome, to be honest with you. But for what it was, I enjoyed it very, very much. And then later on, they adapted to Discord, which is something I do use. I don't use it very often, but I use it to communicate in the chat, or the voice chat, I should say. And I have a lot of fun with that. In fact, if you want to come to Andy's streams, I'll try to put as many links in the description as I possibly can. I may not be able to do it right away as this video is uploaded, but then I'll add it as soon as I have the time to do it, and then that way you can go check out all the channels and all the streams that you want to check out. But if you are interested in any of the streams that I've mentioned prior, if you are interested in any of the streams that you want to participate in or would like to, ask me about it, and I'll give you more information about it at another time. It's just right now, this is about 2015. Okay, so, Andy, very cool guy, has a very good or very cool cast of characters some of which include, but are not limited to, G Mario, Matrix Mandible, yet another streamer in his own right, another great streamer in his own right, Belle Lover, Belle as in, what is it, Belle from Beauty and the Beast. She's another great streamer. And then, let's see, Jinjo's, Kippy, who else am I forgetting? And lately Rogue, and then, who else am I forgetting? Dan Grady, and yes, he gave me permission to call him by his name, so that's why I'm using his full name, Dan Grady, as well as another Dan, Salty Dan. So that's the only reason he gave me permission, because I did not want to confuse one Dan for another, if you know what I mean. And then let's see, who else am I forgetting? Crazy Dude, very cool guy. And let's see, Terra, not to be confused with Jenna Terra, just Terra, as in Terra, Terra. And then it's a guy, the guy Terra. So if I have to, compare one Terra to another, that's what I mean. So yeah, Terra. And let's see, who else am I forgetting? Well, that's pretty much about it. And then there are some people that go to Andy's streams that also go to this stream, of which I have met the most friends of out of any of the streamers I've mentioned prior. So yeah, Andy's stream is a good second, and then WS Grand Prix is a third. But the guy that I have been going to in terms of, streams and all of that have produced the most friends out of any of them, it has to be Eternal Shinobi. Now this guy, when I first met him, I was looking for some streams of Mario Kart 8, and I still love that game. I know that people hate it now because it's a dying game and it's not, and it's just the fact that, no new DLCs coming out or no new updates. I hope they do it. I'm still hopeful that they do it, but nonetheless, I still love playing that game because it's fun. If I didn't think it was fun, I wouldn't have gotten it in the first place. But for what it is, I enjoy it. And I enjoyed it then very, very much that I was looking for streamers, and the guy that popped up was Eternal Shinobi's. And whether he's streaming Mario Kart 8 or whether he's streaming any other game, or lately he's been doing a lot of streams of Mario Maker, so if you like that game, go ahead and check that out. But for what it is, or for what it was as it is, he's a very cool guy, and he's very approachable, and I was fortunate enough to be with him when he was hitting all those milestones. Like he would have like whether it was whether he was getting 400 followers, which is the equivalent of subscriptions on YouTube. Whether it was 400, whether it was 300, 400, 500, 600, all the way up to 1,000 followers, or 1,500 followers. Now he's gotten so many followers, I can't even keep up with it anymore. But I was there when he was becoming a rising star, and I have to say, he truly deserves everything that he has gotten, and I just thank him so much because he led me to a lot of friends that I now do collaborations with ever since I met them through Eternal Shinobi. And I want to give a little special message to him, and I want to say thank you so much for being a friend, but also thank you so much for leading me to a bunch of friends, because I was looking for some people to, play online with, and whether it was to film videos or just for the fun of it, I thank you so much for it. I thank you very, very much for it. I enjoy it so much. But now we get to the people that I met from Eternal Shinobi and from other streamers as well, in that case. I mentioned Jakoi. Jakoi, very cool guy. And yeah, I noticed he's been doing a lot of me shorts, which is where he takes his Miis, and I don't know how he does it, but he does this stop animation of all the Miis that he has, and he just does all these not pranks, but skits that he does with the Mii characters, whether it's my Mii or whether it's his Mii or any of our friends' Miis. You just have to see it for what it is. It's amazing. In fact, he's on my true friends list, so you should find him easily. But yeah, Chikoi, very cool guy to, play. Heck, he's very fun to play with on Smash or anything that he does. So I thank him for it. And let's see, there's also Zekrom, another person I've been smashing quite a lot from or with. I also met him through Eternal Shinobi. He's one of the nicest people that you'll ever meet. I mean, sure, he can come off, well, not come off, but it's just that, sometimes he can troll people, but it's not deliberate, it's just in good fun. But, and usually I can tell when he's just trolling for, for fun and not for, to hurt people. But that's what I like about him. And in fact, he's kind of like a little brother that I never had, so that's kind of the best way to describe him. Heck, that's pretty much the best way I can describe all my guy friends. Because I just call them, I refer to my guy friends as brothers, because that's what we are. I mean, we're like brothers. We're like brothers, and then I have a few girlfriends, but they're not girlfriends as in GF. I'm talking girlfriends as in, lady friends that are more like sisters to me. My kind of like Genitera, kind of like Via Vanille even to this day. And let's see, as well as this one lady, which I'll get to in a moment. And then there's, who else am I forgetting? Ryoko, and then there's Colette, though she's more like a big sister, if you will, or more like an aunt or a family member or something like that. But I appreciate it though. Let's see. So yeah, there's Chikoi, there's Zekrom, there's TJ Super, very cool guy, very well known for his time trials on Mario Kart 8, and his main on Mario Kart 8 is Toadette. And I just have to say, Toadette, I have to admit, Toadette is beautiful. But then again, I would say that because, well, I'm a toad. But I'll get back to Toadette in a moment. Let's see, other stuff I could talk about. Or other people. Then there's Roy is cool. Very cool guy. Laban. Then there's Kitty Sleep Lord. Who else? There's, well, I forget, I don't know how to pronounce one of her nicknames, but the other nicknames I can probably pronounce is Sonami Del Burrito. And I even asked her about the name, and I asked her, well, do you eat burritos or are you a burrito? And then she cleverly says to me, I am what I eat. That pretty much explained it all for Sonami Del Burrito. And then there's, who else? Sandy, the Sandy Sandile. And then there's AJ. Then there's TZ, aka Tristan Gray. He put his own name out there, by the way. And then who else? And then there's AJ, true AJ. I'm trying to think of other people. That's pretty much about it, except for one. Oh yeah, there's Dark Mew. There's Bunny Lover. Bunny Lover, he loves bunnies, in the sense that he likes his pet rabbits, which is where he got the name from. And then Dark Mew is a fan of Mew's Dark's personality. And let's see, anyone else am I forgetting? Oh, Natural G17, another good friend of mine, who later that we collaborated with, but I'll talk more about him later on. And he also goes to Andy's streams. And let's see, anyone else am I forgetting? That's pretty much about it. But I think the greatest contribution from well, actually, I don't think he. Okay, let me take that last part back. For the most part, the people that I became friends with through Shinobi have been great in their own way. And then I may as well say I saved this person for last because we ended up doing a lot of collaborations with each other. You know, aside from Zekrom and aside from Jokoi and as well as Roy and Kitty Sleeplord and a little bit of Laban, or a little bit of Liban, excuse me. But I think the one person that I collaborated with the most, aside from the people that I just mentioned, has to be my very good friend, Crazy Candy Lady. Not to say that any of the people that I mentioned before aren't my good friends. They are. They're my very good friends. And then there's Kitty, or not Kitty, excuse me, Candy, Crazy Candy Lady, 123. Very good friend of mine. In fact, she's a very good friend of all the people that I just mentioned, like Zekrom and Chakoi and Kitty Sleeplord and yes, Roy. But Candy, she's a very, very good, a very good friend of mine. In fact, we had a chance to talk with each other a couple of times, and she's a very deep person, but when it comes down to it, we just have fun with what we do. Like, whether it's playing Mario Kart 8 or whether it's, well, I was going to say smashing, but she doesn't have Smash. And even if she did, well, she might actually beat me. I don't know. I don't know that. But I think one of oh yeah, she has Splatoon, but now I have Splatoon. Excuse me, I'm having a lot of gas. But yeah, I have Splatoon nowadays, and I can now do some collabs with her, but I haven't had a chance to, in large part because, well, she's on vacation. But yeah, very good friend is Crazy Candy Lady. She's also another good friend of Natural G17, who, both Natural G17, as well as TJ Super, as well as Candy. Sooner or later, we also became friends with another good friend of mine, Fries 101 Reviews. And I've been doing a lot of collabs with him, whether it was him and whether it's just him and me, or whether it was him, myself, Candy, TJ Super, Natural G, or any of the other people that we later became friends with, whether it was through Fries or whether it was through Candy, like Super Mario Luke, for instance, another good friend of mine. I met him through Candy, and then there's McButternugget1, who I met through Fries, and then another person I met through Fries was Road Rage Dudes, who also calls himself Koopa Kid. And then let's see, who else? Well, that's pretty much about it in terms of that. But, myself, Fries, as well as Candy and friends, and all the people that we just mentioned just a moment ago, yeah, we did some collaborations on, mostly through Fries, because Fries is the one that was hosting it. We had a lot of fun with that, and we hope to have fun when Candy comes back, or whenever we can do it. That's collaborate, I mean. And then, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Let's see, anyone else I'm forgetting before I continue? Well, that's pretty much about it, except that another game that I was collaborating with people, whether it was with Zekrom, Jokoi, Roy, or that's Roy is Cool, or Kitty Sleeplord, Liban, or Cole NO112, and then who else am I forgetting? And then there's a couple of people that I've collaborated with, like behind the scenes, but I haven't uploaded the video yet, so I don't want to spoil it for you, but do check out those particular collabs, as well as collabs I'm doing with on Super Mario 3D World. I was able to get a couple more collabs with people. different people, but different people nonetheless. And I believe that's about it for the New Year's Eve update. I'm sorry if this took a while, but it's just an audio log, so if you want to like save this, or you can just pause it or anything like that if you want to, you know, take a break, or if you're watching something else, or if you're doing something else, like, you know, paying bills or something like that. If you're doing something else and you want to listen to me, you're more than welcome to do it. But it has been a wonderful new year, or it's going to be a wonderful new year, I should say. But it's been a nice year that has been 2015. Now, I will say there have been bumps in the road, a lot of them, at least in terms of my personal life. But I'm not going to say very much, except for the fact that, you know, you live and learn through your mistakes. Your only hope is that you move on from it, but you also hope that people can forgive you for your mistakes if it affected anybody. So if there's anything that you did, or anything that I did, or, you know, I have to just take it into stride, which is what I'm trying to say. But I hope this year has been a wonderful year for you, and I wish you nothing but the best for 2016 onward. And I hope I hope for you it's a great year for you. For everyone watching this, and for all the people that I've mentioned, and if I forgot your name, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. There's two other people I forgot to mention. I almost forgot to mention these people. And that would have to be Mario Rock 57 and his sister, Mario Girl 42. I forgot about them. I want to wish you guys a happy new year. But yeah, I met them this year. I almost forgot to mention them. I'm kind of glad I remembered them a little bit. But anyway, aside from that, have a happy new year. May God bless you. Until then, this is Ju22 wishing you a happy new year. Alright. Peace out, everybody.